Since she got spoiled, Elesh Norn, Mother of Machines, has received a lot of press, much of which has to do with her role in the Commander format. Some people think she should have never been printed, and others aren't as alarmed about her. I think she's definitely a strong card in the format, however, she's pretty easily dealt with. Ultimately, I don't see a ban-worthy card when I look at Elesh Norn, but I understand why some people aren't gonna enjoy facing her in a game of Commander. Today we're breaking down a build with her at the steering wheel. We're mostly looking to take advantage of her trigger doubling line of text, so the list is full of all kinds of sweet ETB triggers. Let's start by talking about some of those. Lauren of the Third Path, aka the White Reclamation Sage, Skyclave Apparition, Cavalier of Dawn, Solitude, Duplicant, and Angel of Serenity are all ETB based removal. Angel of Serenity can also do some really sweet shenanigans if you use it to exile your own stuff and then blink it later. There are also some enchantment based versions of this effect with Ossification, Grasp of Fate, and Touch of the Spirit Realm. There are of course a lot more O-ring effects you could be playing if you wish, but I think these are the best, so I stuck with those. Blade Splicer and Felida Retreat have ETB effects that generate tokens, and Retreat can of course also pump the team. We also have a bit of graveyard recursion effects with Extraction Specialist, Karmic Guide, Revelark, and Sun Titan. And then there's Stonehorn Dignitary, which is just a really dirty card against certain decks. Of course, we want a good portion of our card draw to be ETB based, so we can squeeze out some extra value thanks to Elesh Norn. Spirited Companion, Wall of Omens, Inspiring Overseer, Priest of Forgotten Lore, and Combat Thresher all draw cards when entering the battlefield. Combat Thresher also becomes a pretty scary beater if you blink it. Rumor Gatherer, Welcoming Vampire, and Takashia's Welcome are also ETB based draw in the sense that these are triggers that will be doubled if Elesh Norn is in play. The same is true for Recruiter of the God, which can tutor up a lot of the creatures in the deck. We do also have Esper Sentinel and Archivist of Ugma. Although they aren't ETB based, they're just super solid white card draw effects. And we do have a couple of really sweet enchantments and artifacts, a few of which we already mentioned, but also some we're getting to later, so Enlightened Tutor is a natural fit for the list. We also want as much of our ramp as possible to be ETB based, although there aren't really many good options that fit that criteria in mono white. We got our white catch-up ramp with Knight of the White Orchid and Loyal Warhound, and a Chaomancer's map. And then there's also EDH Classics, Solemn Simulacrum. And for a non-ETB based ramp we got Defiler of Faith, which also helps us build some board presence, and Smothering Tithe is probably the one really strong ramp spell that's specifically white, and it's pretty busted in EDH. And apart from that we got a pile of rocks as usual. Since we're packing all these ETB effects, we're obviously also playing a bunch of blink effects. Ephemerate and Cloud Shift are cheap and efficient ways of blinking creatures. Eerie Interlude and Ghostway are a bit more expensive but can potentially generate a lot more value. Charming Prince, Flicker Wisp, and Restoration Angel are ETB based blink, which means that these can also be blinked, which enables some pretty awesome plays. Eldrazi Displacer, Teleportation Circle, Sword of Hearth and Home, and the Eternal Wanderer are different kinds of repeatable blink effects that can also provide other forms of utility. And of course we have to play Panharmonicon and Preston the Vanisher as additional ways of doubling our triggers that, by the way, also stack on top of Elesh Norn, which can lead to some really absurd turns. We got some of the best protection spells in white, which is sweet because we really want Elesh Norn to stick around. Mother of Runes is cheap and efficient, and opponents are gonna feel bad using their removal spell on this little 1-drop. Brave the Elements and Teferi's Protection protects our entire team, and so does Guardian of Faith, which even comes as an ETB effect that can be blinked and repeated. We also pack Lightning Greaves and Commander's Plate since we're monocolored. To round up the list, we got a little bit of interaction. We got some generally strong white creatures with Dranith Magistrate and OG Elesh Norn, the Grand Cenobite, and a couple of white staple removal spells with Swords to Plowshares and Generous Gift. I'm not gonna go in depth with every card in the mana base, but if you're interested in the full list, there'll be a link in the description. Thanks for watching. If you enjoy content like this and you'd like to see more in the future, make sure to like the video and subscribe to the channel. That would also be a great and completely free way of supporting me in my Magic content creation endeavors, which I'd appreciate enormously. I'll also gladly receive any kind of feedback regarding the deck, the video, or whatever else you might think of. Let me know in the comments down below. Thanks again for the view. Until next time.